Okay, so I think you know if you've read my blog that I believe that it's total BS. That the people who go to these Ivy League schools are the best and the brightest, and I can sit here and I can talk for hours on this. But I wanted to bring up a couple of things just to illustrate my point, and then we'll be out of here just very quickly. If you look at if you watch this show that's recently appeared on Netflix, on the Menendez brothers called Monsters. It's a story of their life and how they became the way they were, and how and why they killed their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez. But in that television show, and it's a great television show, you see a couple of scenes where Jose Menendez puts a lot of pressure on his child Lyle to go to the Ivy League. And eventually he did get into an Ivy League school. But you can see that during this movie, and I guess we have to accept that this is, for the most part, true. I'm going to accept that it's true, that it's Jose Menendez who writes the entrance essay for Lyle so that he can get into Princeton. And then when Lyle gets into Princeton, he's cheating, and he's going to be expelled. And it's Jose Menendez who has an interview with the official at Princeton, who essentially browbeats this official into not expelling his child, and says that he's going to sit in his chair and he's going to pee in his pants until some other solution it has arisen so that Lyle doesn't get suspended from Princeton. And let me tell you something. I believe that. And the reason I believe that is because my sister taught for many years up in northern New Jersey, and taught in a school district where there's some very wealthy children. And she would tell me stories all the time of when she would give a grade to one of these children of a rich parent. These parents were wealthy because they had worked for major corporations, and so she would give them a C. And the parent would come into her office, very angry, and just throw down the paper and say, "How come my child got a C?" And my sister would say, "Well, it's because they did C work." And the parent would then say, "Yes, but this is going to affect their ability to get into, at whatever Ivy League school they wanted to get into." And, my sister wouldn't change the grade, and then the parent would go over her head to her boss, who was very weak-willed, and who would overrule her and force her to make some accommodation for that particular student. So I believe this goes on all the time. So you see, you may come from a regular background, and you think that why that's something you would never think of doing, right? You just, what? My child got a C, that's it. That's the grade they deserve. It wouldn't occur to you to go back in there and ask for your child to be retested or be given the opportunity to write an essay over again. But I can assure you that the rich and the powerful, and many of these people who attend Ivy League schools, that's exactly what they do. And they do browbeat the teacher so that their little boy or the little girl can be retested. So that's how you see how many of these people get into Ivy League schools. Not all of them, but there's enough of them. And so whereas they might take the spot of someone whose parents don't know enough to do that, and that child ends up going to another school and are not going to get the same perks that our Kim Jong-un society gives to someone who goes to the Ivy League, because we programmed everybody in this country to believe that an Ivy League graduate is somehow superior to a non-Ivy League graduate. Of course, that's totally false. And if ever the Ivy League graduate would think about it for a second, they would know that it would be false, because there's many Ivy League graduates who have gone to the Ivy League and they finish in top part of the class, say the top 5-10% of the class. And these graduates know damn well that they have brothers and sisters and parents who they know from their own experience are smarter than many of these classmates of theirs in the Ivy League. You kind of know when someone's smarter than you or not. And so these brothers and sisters of these Ivy League graduates, these Harvard, Yale, Princeton graduates, they're not going to get the same perks as the person who attends the Ivy League. And so that's another example of the BS, of the supremacy of the Ivy League graduate. Like I say, I could talk about this on and on, but we'll just stop it there for this session.